This is my second take of this. They didn't get too deep on it. Because I didn't have a mic earlier. Anyway, so I'm doing the Dragon Ball transformation tier maker. I've been seeing everyone do it online, and I just wanted my little take on it. And it seems kind of fun just to do and talk about. The two I see people never talk about, I see, is the false Super Saiyan and the Super Kaioken. If you don't know what those are from, the Super Kaioken is from the Lord Slug movie. And this was actually done before Super Saiyan was revealed, so the animators just made this as they went. And what I kind of like about it is it seems like a precursor just to two things. To like Super Saiyan God with like the red hair, but also just Super Saiyan at the same time, mixed with Berserker. So it's kind of like a 3-for-1. I mean, it came as quickly as it left, I should say, because when you see it was pretty hype. But then, because I like this part here, when you see him like break and it's just his aura just on it burning, like he broke it and it's like burning him at the same time. Very cool effect. But you know, I seen this after I seen the original Super Saiyan. I remember I was so thrown off. I was like, what is this? What is this form? This is crazy to me. But after that, I just let it go from there. Next is Super Kaioken. This is actually a filler arc, which I think is the best way to do a filler arc, is just to add a miscellaneous tournament. As long as like within that tournament they don't do any new techniques. And that's where this comes from, where they did a new technique, where Goku did a new technique against Pikkon. This is Super Kaioken. So technically this is the precursor to Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. And I remember as a kid, even before watching this, I'm like, why doesn't Goku just stack Super Saiyan and Kaioken at the same time? That's one thing that I never understood, why just to have a double multiplier. And then in Dragon Ball Super, he explains that his body would be torn if he did it during a Super Saiyan, but you never see him try to do it, or you never even see him train to try to do it. Which is, I think, kind of the main problem with Dragon Ball, is that when they have techniques, they never try to enhance or improve on something that they have. They just usually get stronger, and then that move gets stronger, and so forth. Like, I would like to see, for example, Goku train on Super Saiyan 3 to last long, kind of like he did with, like, well, you do see in one instance is when Goku does Super Saiyan grade 1 and it causes no stamina when he trains with Gohan right before the fight Cell, so he can always be Super Saiyan without it pretty much draining his body. I would like to see that with like Super Saiyan 3, and then him going like Super Saiyan God, try to go Super Saiyan like 2 or 3, and just keep that in line. But where I would rank this would probably just be C. Both of these would be C, just because it's not bad, but it's not great, and it comes and goes. But it did have an impact. It gave me that whoa impact on it. And like I said, these are just like, this was a filler and this was just a movie, so it gave you something, you know, fun to look to actually see that you won't see in the main series. Alright, now we're gonna go here. The Ozaru forms an A. Some people probably think it should be an S because it's kind of iconic, but I think it's just an A because it's never, once again, like I mentioned earlier, it's never utilized as much. Only Vegeta kind of did when he went to fight the Goku and friends on his first time on Earth. And it was just kind of, and usually when the Ozaru comes out, it's an event. Like when Goku as a kid in Dragon Ball used it the first time with the Pilaf and gang, big event. When he fought Master Roshi at the World Martial Arts Tournament, that was crazy. When Gohan went to fight, you know, Vegeta with it, that was also an event. So it was always very awesome seeing when this form comes out, because you never do. And what it is, it's like a wow moment. Like, this is great to see. Now, the form after would be Kaioken. Definitely an S. Which I don't know if, like, it should be a form or a technique. I think technically you could probably say all these are techniques in one way or another, but the reason why Kaioken is just cool is because it's a move that anybody could do, but nobody does because King-Kai is selfish, and usually it's just when it's used, it's always pretty awesome seeing when it's used, like against Vegeta, against Hit, against Nappa. Like, it's pretty cool, except the one time when he went to fight Frieza, they gave that weird excuse that, like, how come he's not using Kaioken? It's like, oh, he is using Kaioken, you just can't see it, which is just like a, what, kind of thing. But it's always just, and as a kid, when you first see Kaioken, you just love screaming. It's Kaioken and just doing something, thinking you're getting more energy out of it. So it's iconic as well, and it's definitely an S. Like, because it's a move Goku would still use. And then just the fact that he made his resurgence later on in Super was awesome. Super Saiyan, straight up S. Like when you see Krillin die for the first time, him go Super Saiyan, it's just like, whoa, what is that? What is this form? He just went golden. Like, and the thing is, it's not like Kaioken where he has to turn it off. It stays on. Like, I mean, he just get out of it, but it's like something that's just continuous. Like, it changes, like, the way he looks. I mean, granted, it's just his hair, and he gets a little more muscular, but it's just, like I said, it's eye-popping. This is something people always, reference in animation. Just getting stronger and your hair going up. This has become, like, something, and the media just loves to use, parody or not. Next is what we got? Super. I love this. I love this form. It's just like, I love it when Vegeta uses it, because this is like Vegeta's thing. Because Vegeta got so cocky, and also he was stronger. It was kind of cool seeing like he was extra jacked, and I was like, oh, he looks intimidating, and he just has the upper hand on Cell. But it wasn't much different, but it was different enough just to be noticeable when he does it. And the fact is, this is so funny because he called himself Super Vegeta. How condescending do you need to be that you put, like, a positive adjective in front of your name? Like, I am, like, if we call myself, I'm Super Lewis just because I'm awesome at basketball. Like, this Vegeta was just up in his own world the whole time when he had this form, and I love it. I love this form, and it was just everything he did on it was just, he was on top. It made this form just seem so superior and great. And like I said, it was different enough. And we're gonna go to E. I think this is like probably, when I saw this, I was like, why are you looking like Broly for? And the fact is, it was like, oh wow, it's just like Super Vegeta, but he's just buffer. And he looks like Broly. I was not a fan of it because I'm like, that's just silly. And then not only that, like I think literally in the same episode, Cell just demeans it. He's like, that form sucks. You're too slow. You can't do anything about it. And the fact is, Goku realized this in the hyperbolic time chamber when he went into that form to show Gohan. And the funny thing is, Trunks even says that Vegeta probably can go into that form, but doesn't choose to because he understood what it does. So Vegeta and Goku understood, but not Trunks, because he's young and he's not as much of like as a warrior as Goku and Vegeta. But this form was put to shame as quickly as it came, so it was not good. Super Saiyan 2. No, that's not Super Saiyan 2. Imagine if that this is Super Saiyan 2. That's definitely an A. The reason is, it's just people are gonna hate me. Maybe a B, maybe an A. No, it's definitely an A. The reason why it's not an S because it's not a radical difference. It's just his hair goes up more. I mean, he went from looking like Cloud from Final Fantasy to looking like his dad with his hair all the way up. Everything was cool about it, but my problem is with this form when like Vegeta and Goku go into it, for like a long time I couldn't tell the difference. because this is a tier maker for forms, not for characters themselves. But so I'm just trying to rank it all as everyone using it. Like when back to what I was saying earlier, when Goku and Vegeta were to use Super Saiyan 2, you couldn't recognize it. Like, and if you show Super Saiyan 2 to the naked eye with somebody, it's not like they'll probably have a hard time seeing the difference between what Super Saiyan 2 is. It's usually you always notice it has an aura with electricity around it, and Goku has one bang where Vegeta's hair gets slightly spiky, kind of more like on the Super Vegeta side. But when Gohan went to this one for the first time, it was awesome because it had like kind of the same idea of pretty much going Super Vegeta, how he just owned Cell completely on that situation, but he also owned the juniors and he kind of had that cocky attitude. But it was great, and seeing it in the BoJack movie was awesome too, because he even had his father's gi. So just seeing this form was cool and iconic. And the thing is, this form was short-lived as well. That's another thing. I mean, if they could still go into it, but it's usually just kind of skipped over. This should have been, I think, more of a Gohan signature. Like, I think this should have been maybe more, like, at least a filler, or maybe more episodes with Gohan using this form more, I think. Because when he used it, originally they were going to end Dragon Ball from there. I mean, Gohan the main character, but he was already an adult. And that's pretty much really it. What is next? Super Saiyan 3? No, you're an 8 as well. This is probably my favorite Super Saiyan form. Just because it's so radically different. And it kind of makes sense that Goku kind of achieving this form. Because when Goku was dead for like almost I think 10 years or something like that was the time frame for it. It makes sense for Goku to think to attaining a new form, since he's seen Super Saiyan 2 and he probably attained it and thinking, I have to go further than this. What's the limit of these Super Saiyan forms? And the thing is, when this form was designed and I seen it, it was kind of like me seeing Super Saiyan for the first time. Just because it was just a crazy moment, like seeing Goku transform, screaming, pretty much destroying like the world, causing tsunamis and earthquakes. And the fact you've seen that form when he's like in Rosaru, and then he was like a baby, and then he's like turning around, and then he just comes out and he's Super Saiyan 3 and just completely owns Majin Buu. It's my dog going off again. It was an awesome form. Like I said, it's my favorite form, but it's just, once again, it's underutilized. And people always talk about how, like, it takes us too much power and so forth. I mean, I guess, but Goku doesn't practice it. That's another thing. The writing, like in Dragon Ball, is hit or miss. It's like, oh, cool, new form. Oh, what does Goku do with the new form? He fights it with Kid Buu, and he had it on for a while. Didn't seem that exhausted. But then after that, in Super, he only uses the form I think twice against like Trunks and in the survival arc. This is the form I would like to see worked on, to seeing Goku just at least try to like, I don't know, do meditation or just trying to work on it, and then see this form added on to like his Super Saiyan God. And next form, and I would think would be Ultimate Gohan. Let's just see. This form is just, I don't know, maybe a D. I kind of like the idea of it, like you like get your maximum potential. It's like going Super Saiyan without the stress. But the idea, there was no training up to it. It was just like him, if you call him swinging the Z Saber, then just getting the old man out, and then an old man dancing around you like, oh, I'm suddenly strong. This form was like this form was handed to him. Well, usually all these other forms, oh, I guess Ozaru kind of was too, but Ozaru like everyone can kind of do with a tail. But usually all these forms were attained one way or another by some kind of training. Well, I think this form was just kind of just like, oh, here you go. We need a form, and this is yours, Gohan. And then he fights Majin Buu, and then he just gets eaten, caught easily. It's just like, okay, awesome, good show. And let's see, what do I do in order to make more sense? Super Saiyan 4 I just love. It's, once again, it's one of those like, iconic like transformation because it's so different, and it's Super Saiyan 4. I'm sorry I didn't call it anything different, but it's just it helped fix GT a little bit when watching it. Just Goku's no longer a kid again; he's an adult, and it just looks so appealing. Like it just looks like, oh wow, this is awesome. Goku has a new hairstyle, like a whole new like part of a great ape, part Super Saiyan esque. And the fact is, he would use it a lot. Like once they like introduce this form, whenever he's fighting it, this is coming on. I mean, I hated how the 4 came out because it reminds me similar to like Gohan's in a sense. But my problem with Gohan is just nothing. He just gets the bang and that's it. Well, this form is vastly appealing, and it came with like Super Dragon Fists, which is really cool. Which is very reminiscent to Goku's Great Ape Fist, which is really awesome to see that callback. And what else is there? Where should I go next? Golden Ape. Bleh. Just Golden Monkey. It was just, I mean, like I said, usually with Great Ape is usually an event, but it's just like a Golden Monkey. I was like, oh, this is cool, but he couldn't control it. I thought it would be kind of cool if you could control it, but I literally had no feelings for it. Then Baby used it and controlled it. I just generally had no feel for it. When I saw Super Saiyan 4 out of it, I thought it was cool. I thought of it kind of like the egg encasing Super Saiyan form coming out of it, but that's really about it. Let's see. The next one I will do is bum 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 bum. Would probably be Super Saiyan God. I like this form, but I remember when I saw it, I was kind of like, a little disappointed in it just because it was just like look like Goku with the red hair. But then a part of me kind of started appreciating that it was just kind of like he's supposed to be a god, so it's supposed to maintain a godlyhood, kind of a more natural state. And I just love the aura. The aura around it is so cool. But then once again, you only see it like twice. You only see it when he fights Beerus, and then when he uses it against the Tournament of Power, and then the Brawley movie, I guess. But I'm just trying to think. Like my feelings for it aren't that strong. I just love the fact he just looks really cool and basic. Super Saiyan Blue. Ugh. That form. That form, once again, should have been like kind of what I've explained with kind of Super Kaioken, where you at least see Goku training in Super Saiyan God form, and then him trying to like go Super Saiyan in that form, and kind of seeing like a struggle with it, or it should be kind of like an emotional moment. And the thing you see is like a hint of it when Goku Vegeta punch, and you see like little sparkles. But even then, it didn't even make sense because it seems like this form was a separate form just by that aspect of it, because Goku and Vegeta weren't even like Super Saiyan or God forms or anything at that point. So essentially just this form mixed with that form, and you get that. Also, I don't even think that's like a right picture of Super Saiyan God either. It's supposed to have like a bang going on. I think this is just Super Saiyan Goku recolored with blue hair. Next is Rose. I liked the fact it was kind of like had a cool explanation for it, and I remember when it was kind of spoiled because it was like a food, like Japan's food about like having like a food menu called like Super Saiyan Rose cupcake or coffee, something ridiculous like that. But I mean, it was kind of different, which I can appreciate because that's just like another Super Saiyan color. But like I said, it was all right. It just helps. I think mainly what people like about Super Saiyan Rose is Goku Black and the way he's dressed, just because it makes it seem different enough. But if Goku had that hair color, it just would be like why? It would be essentially like Super Saiyan Blue as like a Y factor. But the fact that a villain got ascended this form is kind of cool, because it's like the idea of just like a villain tapping into a Super Saiyan form where Super made Super Saiyan a joke at that point. Well, I think kind of a little bit afterwards was kind of cool that he had to attain this form with no explanation for it. besides just training, because Zamasu was just getting the sane urge of training. So it gets, like I said, it's in the very bare minimum of the middles. Next is, I forgot to do this because I was trying to do it in order. Right here. Well, maybe it might be maybe an A, because it did everything I. It just looks so cool because it kind of fixes Super Saiyan Blue. Because the thing is, another I forgot to mention with Super Saiyan Blue, the art sucks compared to Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan God has a much cooler aura than Super Saiyan Blue, but I may have to put this at an A because it had that great impacting moment, and then it just got you hype when Goku's just charging up against Hit, and then you hear the opening song from Dragon Ball Super play as he's powered up and screaming and just going all in. And it's actually, no, I'm gonna definitely leave it at S, because you know what, he uses it. That's another thing too, he uses it a lot. After he did it, he uses it all the time, which just kind of complements Super Saiyan Blue, because Super Saiyan Blue by itself stinks, but using with Kaioken just looks cooler. The idea is awesome, and it's just something he kind of learned, and he talked about and explained that why he didn't do it beforehand. Which you caught it's an A, because you didn't see the training for it. Actually, in a sense, it's not like he was scared to do it and he's like, all right, this is my final shot, I gotta do this. He said he did this off screen, off training for it. So it gets an A. If I seen the works for it, or if he did it as a last resort, it would be an S rank. But I still like this a lot. It's generally what I want to see more with Dragon Ball, is working on old techniques and combining with others, or just training towards something. Like, you don't have to have like a serious arc, like I said, like maybe like a tournament arc, kind of like Universe 6, to try new things out. And that's what I kind of liked about it, because it wasn't anything like crazy. I mean, the only thing crazy is just Beerus would just not be the god of destruction for like Earth, or just be Universe 6, but that's not that big of a deal, I think. Next is Rage. I thought Rage was okay. Like I said, it's like, I think it's actually right there. But I remember I was kind of disappointed with Rage, because I thought he was gonna get 3. Because when Goku went Super Saiyan 3 fighting Trunks, I thought it was foreshadowing that he was gonna unlock Super Saiyan 3, and that would have been kind of cool. Because, you know, I don't like, because it didn't make. I mean, it's a D, I think, because the idea doesn't make sense to me why he attained this form. Because usually that would be the next step in these forms, is, you know, 1, 2, 3. But yeah, this is better. This would be a D, I think. I mean, it's hair becoming bigger, and I wish it kind of went spiky. Because there's a reason with Future Trunks, when he goes Super Saiyan, his hair tends to go like this, while like Kid Trunks, his hair is actually spiked upward, kind of more at an angle. So I don't know why it's like a weird parted Super Saiyan hair. Let's see, next we're going to talk about, this was awesome. I loved this, because I thought it was great, just the whole idea behind Ultra Instinct, because it's something that anybody can attain, much like KO can. But just seeing like the epicness of Goku coming back, and the Ultra Instinct song coming out, like Kakaze, I think it is. I'm not sure. I'm not probably butchering the song and mispronouncing it, but it's epic. It's great. I can't wait to watch this in English. I think they might have already shown that part in English. I'm not too sure. I'm just gonna wait till the Blu-rays come out to watch it. But seeing this for the first time was just like, whoa! It was great. I loved it. Every time it came out, it was great. It's like I said, it's kind of like the Ozaru type form, I guess, where it's like, oh, something big's gonna happen if this is coming out. And every time this form came out, he was doing something awesome and cool. Super Saiyan Blue Evolution was cool too, I think. I loved it. I think it might be, like I said, I like this because it's very, very reminiscent of Vegeta's Super Vegeta form. Like, he's very muscular, he's bigger. And like I said, because I always felt like this form was owned by Vegeta since he was first owned it, and this reminded very reminiscent of it. And also, I like the darker shade of blue. And he also, behind the form, had so much meaning behind it. How he wanted to protect his newborn daughter, Bulma, his family. It was great. I completely loved when this form came out, and the fact that it's Vegeta's form. I mean, it's kind of crazy that this form's comparable to Kaioken, and this form's better than Kaioken, because Kaioken it strains your body more on top of everything else Goku's doing. This is just a new form. It never says if it's ever straining, but it has to be less strained than Kaioken Blue. But this was great. When I saw Vegeta get this form, just seeing just the fact that it was just Super Vegeta was awesome, because I'm like, that was Vegeta's form. And the fact they brought this back with a darker shade of blue and just looking extra beefy was great. Loved it. Then when I saw this, I was just like, here it is. You got the new colored hair. We got Super Saiyan 5, even though it's not Super Saiyan 5. It's always been a joke for years that the white hair is Super Saiyan 5 just from some drawing someone did. But fun fact, in Budokai 3, if you pick Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and pick the alternate color, you get the white hair. This form was great, just seeing just like it unlock, and then the whole Jiren fight. And I like the white hair. I think it's cool. I'm just wondering if like this will be stacked with Super Saiyan or something, like, or if we'll ever see this form again. I think we will. But I do like the form though, because it's everything. It's just Mastered Ultra Instincts. It's everything Ultra Instinct with just a different color and the power behind it. But it's a shame you only see it for like one episode. I would like to have seen more of it, but when I saw it, the impact was cool too. And just that whole episode was great. But definitely this is above that, just from the moments this form had compared to that. Now we talk about Broly. Broly. This is the precursor to Super Saiyan like 4. But once again, like, I mean, he had yellow eyes, and it's just like, okay, cool. Actually, it's more like a C, because it was just like, all right, you know, they kind of explained that this is just him controlling the beast within him, and that was really it. It's him screaming, fighting. This was hilarious. And I think this might be kind of paired up with what's it called, Khalifa, I think, or is it Kale? I always get those two girls. The woman Broly. I think this is probably just Berserker form. I mean, I would like to see the Berserker form controlled, because so far it's just like always rage fueled and just screaming and running forward. It's like I said, I like the aesthetic of it, just how just blind power going through, and it's just like I kind of love seeing over the top stuff like that. But I like to see them in that form. I mean, she kind of did control that form and simmer it down, but I like to see it like still beefy and just still with the white eyes looking angry the whole time. So, I mean, this form is still, like I said, aesthetic. It's this Super Saiyan. It's like what this form is, but better. You know, it doesn't have any of the losses on it. I mean, it's kind of like Super Saiyan God in a sense. It's like, it's cool, but it's like doesn't do enough for me, because this has kind of already been done for, twice already, I guess, in a sense. Not really twice, but like, I guess, well, the Broly movie, and then Dragon Ball Super, and then yeah, I mean, it's okay. I do like the form though. I like to see this form a lot more come out, or at least have like a whole arc of this, like them training Broly while he's in that form and them fighting, and it's like, oh, here we go again type of situation. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for my tier maker. Just let me know what you guys think of my list. Just comment below. Thanks.